Seconds before we get going here. Hopefully everyone will get the ping fairly soon and we will be ready to go. So I am going to just start here. Bonsoir and welcome to Marseille, just outside Marseille. Welcome to Circuit de Paul Ricard for pre-season testing Tier 3 here at the Nitrous Racing League. And our first car out on track and completing laps in the Red Bull is Thibault 13 Dean in the RB16B, thrashing his way around this circuit just outside Marseille in the south of France. Beautiful weather out here as well in the French countryside. I am Tucson 028 and I might be joined by someone later on in this pre-season testing session. We had Tier 1 yesterday with one of the McLarens finishing at the head of the field there, myself and Natty completing the most laps of any other team for Alpine as well. So this is a chance for us to get acquainted with our new drivers, see who is up to speed, who is lagging behind a little bit, and who maybe just struggles a bit with this track and will be on form come Saudi Arabia next week for round 1 of the NRL season 2. We are massively excited for the beginning of this season, and we hope you are too. Something a bit different as well to kick off the season with this relaxed pre-season testing session. Again, just letting the drivers find their feet in these new cars and straight out onto the soft tyres for some performance runs. It looks like here the Red Bull of Thibault. Obviously one of the things that we can't see up here in the commentary box is the fuel loads, and you will have to go onto a driver's private stream to go and watch those. But yeah, I am going to try and get the stream up over here, and we will have a look at the chat momentarily. This installation lap completed there. Then for the Red Bull, next car through will be the Alpha Tauri and of Pipette Tech. We'll go with Pipette Tech, and he is going to cross the line any moment now to set the first lap time of Tier 3 testing. It's a 1 minute 33.8 for the Alpha Tauri driver, and Kieran next across the line. He goes into second position with a 1 minute 35.5. And the Lewis Hamilton inspired helmet there, black and purple in the Mercedes. Very nice to see that there. The Mercedes go around there. We see the harvesting sign on the back of the Mercedes, the rain light turning on down the straight, so we know that Kieran there is not running in the highest ERS mode available, but on the hard tyres just over a second and a half slower than Pipitech, who currently leads the way here. The Alfa Romeo's one of three teams with 2 cars in this pre-season testing, so those 3 teams already looking quite strong off the bat here, must be said. They had quite a few cars yesterday in the Tier 1 pre-season testing, and indeed for Tier 2 as well on Monday, which is great to see. And nice to see all of you guys getting involved with the pre-season testing format. It's good to know that it's been quite a popular thing, and if people do like it as much as they say they do, then we'll definitely be doing it for next season as well. Let's go down here to the Twitch and get this nice and up on the screen. If I can find the chat as well, that would be fantastic. For some reason I still can't see the chat. Have a look then here at Yeet for Life, who's gone off the track there, unfortunately for him. So our first crash of pre-season testing as they get their way back onto the track and head back to the pit. So maybe some setup problems there then for Alfa Romeo. now, coming up into one of the most exciting corners on the track. Cena taken flat out in 8th gear with a shift down there for Tubal. Perhaps a bit of a fuel-saving technique there we're seeing from the Red Bulls at this early stage. Currently only 4 cars out on the track, and there's a Williams that has spun around. There's NTA, Nos Forever, who has gone around there, unfortunately for them, as they find their way back onto the circuit once again. Hopefully this should be the chat here. It is the chat. There we go. So I should be able to see what people are saying over there, which should be nice. Just checking. Yep, mic volume's definitely on. As not NTA that does manage to invalidate. 52 minutes left on the clock as it stands. Kieran on a much better lap. We'll follow him around as he completes this lap of the circuit Paul Ricard. And as the Alpha that crashed, he's getting used to the setup, and there we go. One of the interesting things that we're going to see here in this pre-season testing session, it allows the drivers to get more comfortable with the cars. I'd expect to see a few spins, a few lockups, a few mistakes so early on into the season, and hopefully we'll be able to iron those out before we get to Saudi Arabia next week. I think that was a McLaren that's gone off. Indeed it was. Liv K-Dots there going off after turn 10. Has to be careful coming back on the track, because there goes Kieran now in the Mercedes. Gets into the blue stuff on the outside, but keeps it nicely together there. He does. And now in towards the latter stages of the lap. Right on board now with the Mercedes. Had the DAS system banned from last year, obviously, in real-life Formula 1, as that comes around the penultimate corner and goes into the pits. And you can see they're not having that much fuel left in the car. They're only doing 2 laps on that set of hard tyres. You see the fuel gauge there blinking red as he does make his way back into the pit lane. So his teammate Dizzy Mason now has had his most recent lap invalidated. So you can see what tyres everybody is on now. 2 drivers on the softs, T-Bot and Dizzy Mason have we seen there, as T-Bot's lap time was invalidated, but would have been a 32.3. I believe the best time we saw from Tier 1 was somewhere in the 29, so still a ways to go before we're troubling that, but we do have a long way to go in this session. Alright, so we're going to try and get an invite out here as well very quickly. Just bear with me, everybody. So hopefully we can get this done nice and quickly. As a Lokito Jar Jar, we should have sent you and should have an invite now and be able to join the lobby. Oh, was the Mercedes of Dizzy Mason and NTA there, I think, having a bit of an altercation going into the chicane. Dizzy Mason taking out one of the pit boards to stay out of trouble there. That could have been very hairy between those two. But no damage done to either car, thank goodness, and they're going to keep going on their way. K-Dots now goes to the top of the timesheets in the McLaren. Not really seen many race runs yet, actually, to be honest. Let's see if we can look at how many laps every person has done. We cannot do that, apparently, which is disappointing, but there we go. Yeah, most laps done at the moment. Kieran on 3, got the yellow flags. It's an Alfa Romeo that's gone round. I believe that is Eat for Life. So when invalidate his most recent lap. As Pipitech now coming round the final few corners here in France, quite significantly up on his lap time. Can he go and take back the first position in this session on a set of the hard tyres nonetheless as well? Comes around the final corner now. Braking gets the car nicely stopped and turned in. Slows down a lot there, so maybe even some sandbagging going on this early into the season. No problem, Dean Granger. We always will stream as much of the Formula 1 content as we can, get it out to you guys, because we know that you enjoy watching the preseason testing and stuff going ahead, which is why that we are doing it for this year. And if it's a popular edition, we will continue to do it. I have no reason to not put this onto the calendar for next season as well. Maybe a different track. We might try Barcelona. We could try Bahrain, somewhere else as well. Maybe some longer tests. We could have multiple days of testing as well if drivers are available in multiple days. And Dean Granger in the Red Bull. Interesting to see that. So Red Bull not setting a lap time at the moment. Tearbot Dean, I'll call you Dean over Tearbot because I think I'll probably mess that up a bit less. But yeah, coming out onto the track now is Dean on a set of the medium tyres for Red Bull. Cheeks still sat there in the pit lane, has not completed a lap yet in this pre-season test. As we see the beautiful shot there of the Alfa Romeo V8 appearing over the horizon and in towards turn number 1 now. Makes his way through turn 2. Gets valid to do, as is so easy to do here on the exit of turn 2. The front of the car getting a bit light and then just sliding across the track and outside of the track limits. Nos Forever now coming to the line in the Williams will pick him up, as he now hits the top of the timesheets, the 1 minute 33.2, and on the hard tyres as well. Dizzy Mason now, first lap time on the softs that we're going to see. I think we'll be hoping for a bit more speed than that on the softs. Making his way now through turn 2. Of course, this is also a track that we will be visiting in the season. Yeet for Life, they're getting some heat into their tyres. You see the Mercedes take off down the back straight there. It's actually some decent camera shots as well they've given us in this year's, or last year's game, technically, I suppose. Welcome to 2022, everybody, as NTA goes off at the chicane there as well, keeps out of the way and off the track. As Cheeks now coming out on an outlap. Dean about to start a lap, so we will turn up the audio, whether you're listening on, be it headphones, speakers, AirPods, whatever you're listening to, turn it up. We're going to go for a lap with Dean now around France in the Red Bull. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. As Dean coming to the end of the lap in the Red Bull. Hope you enjoyed the audio up. Hello to Natty and to Dizzy Mason in the chat as well. Dean goes into 5th position on the 1 minute 34.7, so 4/10 behind Kieran. But again, we do not know the fuel loads of these cars. As NDM gaining my personal teammate from Alpine for tier number 1. Hoping to bring L Plan into existence. looking at Dean. We'll go down here to Pipitech. 6 tenths up now, actually, on his lap time through sector 1 already. Cheeks and the other Red Bull going fastest overall. Natty giving out some bit of advice there in the chat as well to driving without the ABS. Obviously, assists are allowed in all leagues. Pipitech now going 8 tenths clear. Through sector 2 could be a bit of a performance run we're seeing here in the Alpha Tauri, and now sending it into scene. Look at the turn in there and the direction change in the Alpha Tauri. No dramas on exit either, looking very planted at the rear as well as Pipitech. As now through the latter parts of the final sector, we've got an Alfa Romeo on the left hand side that gets out of the way, but as you can see there, he's used up all of his deployment for this lap, so he's got no more battery left to the line. Slows it down very nicely now, and now drive it to the line. Do not worry about anything else, just look for the timeline. It comes up very, very late here around this track after the pole position slot, and actually loses time. So from going about 6 or 7 tenths up, Pipitech loses time by having no battery left at the end of the lap. And again, are we seeing just a little bit of a sandbagging here from the Alpha Tauri with Pipitech at the wheel? You get the feeling that he could go a lot faster than he has so far in this session. Obviously on the overtake as well, they're going down to 30%, just under 30% now. Have to wait and see, but again, we just don't know what the fuel loads are at the moment in this pre-season testing session, so any conclusions that we draw may not be 100% accurate vis-a-vis driver pace. I know I, for instance, did not get a chance to do a completely low fuel run on the set of the soft tyres from a Tier 1 pre-season testing. And Cheeks now going 4 tenths up on their time, 1 minute 32.9. We'll see them extend their advantage at the front of the field at the moment. Dean coming towards the end of the lap as well, but that won't count because it has been invalidated, as 3 of the 4 cars out on track are Red Bull owned at the moment, with a Pipitech coming around the final few corners as well. We'll go back down here to Cheeks though, as he approaches the penultimate corner, the long sweeping left-hander which leads into the very short right-hander down to second gear. Gets the car nicely rotated and no dramas on exit as well. DRS will open, I'm sure, for the Red Bull. And now to the line, what is it going to be for Cheeks? It is a 1 minute 32.2, goes clear of the pack at the front by almost a second now, back to Nos Forever, who currently finds themselves in the pits as it stands with just over 39 minutes left to go. As if you guys do have any questions, do not hesitate to send them into the chat. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability during this pre-season testing session. You can give opinions on who you think is going to be up there at the front. I'd say definitely for now, I'd say Cheeks and Pipitech are looking particularly strong. If Pipitech hooks up a lap together, I think maybe we'll have could have a two-way championship fight, possibly even between those two for the Tier 3 honours here at the NRL. Just a reminder that round 1 is next week at the same time, but not in the same place, in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, the street circuit at night in the desert to kick off the season here in the NRL. So we've got yellows down the back straight, but nothing too dramatic there, thank goodness. Definitely lots to look forward to this season. So just double checking this, and so yeah, definitely lots to look forward to in terms of tracks. We go to Japan for the first time in NRL history. We are also headed off to Holland as well, once again a returning track from last season. We're going to Spa, also a returning track I believe from last season, and I think definitely a good mix of tracks as well. We've got all 3 of the brand new tracks to be racing on as well this season, new added into this game. Who is my favourite driver in real life? I'd probably go with Lewis Hamilton, Dean. I'm not going to lie to you, he's probably my favourite driver. Oh, as NTA goes around on the exit of turn number 2, and that will be putting pay to that particular lap. No, Nazi, it's not you. as Lakito slowing down there, just letting some cars go past, cool down the tyres, and then going again. Dean now coming back out onto the track. So we do have quite a few French drivers as well over in the NRL, so we go to France twice for all of you French F1 fans. Oh, Yeet for life loses it and goes off into the barrier. Luckily there's no damage in this practice session. That would have been a race-ending one there. Looked like he was just trying to warm up the tyres a bit, and now it's gone off the track. Going the wrong way almost as well. Dizzy Mason now making way for a very busy track at the moment. Quite a few cars out there. Most on invalidated lap times, unfortunately. K-Dots now back out on the hards. Has really done quite a few laps on these, I believe. No, sorry, fresh hard tyres. Yeah, so we'll see what he can do now in the McLaren. Unfortunately, no Aston Martins here this evening. Aston Martin, of course, being the first team to reveal the launch date for their real-life 2022 car. Everyone's looking forward to the 2022 Formula 1 season. I know I definitely am. K-Dots goes into 4th position there. Less than a tenth slower than his best lap time. Goes off at turn 2 as well, but keeps a hold of the lap. Does not invalidate there, which is interesting. Got some dirty air practice perhaps going on down here between Dizzy Mason and Mookie in Dizzy Mason's round. And then that was sort of inevitable there. Turn 2 is going to happen eventually. What else has changed for this season? So you don't have any Monza on the calendar anymore, which is some people might see as a bit of a shame, but in its stead we do go to Imola, which is my personal favourite track on this game. Silverstone as well. I think Silverstone will be on the calendar for many years to come. K-Dots goes off there actually again in this very same place that Mick Schumacher went off in a real life qualifying and got himself into Q2 with a crash. It's K-Dots putting him off the side of the road there, it looks like. There's a Nostra error on an invalidated lap, and now the Alfa Romeo Yeet for life coming through. Yes, I guess the tyres will be a lot warmer now on Yeet's car. So rather yeeted himself off the track there a little bit. Humour. Kieran there over the line, 5 tenths quicker, goes up to P5, the highest placed Mercedes. As it stands at the moment, we've got a car off. I think that's K-Dots, it is. And Dizzy Mason's gone round as well. Looks like on the exit of the chicane there. Be unfortunate for him. NTA, oh, and Yeet very close together out here on the racetrack as well, almost halfway through pre-season testing. So now we're going to get a little bit of a race here, are we? Yeet going defensive, Tybalt, so not Tybalt, NTA tries to get the run out of turn 2 and Yeet's round. And off, and Dean's off the track as well, but Yeet there losing the rear on the exit of turn 2. I think there might be a lot of instability in that Alfa Romeo setup. That's not the first time we've seen one of them go round in this session, with just over half an hour left to go. K-Dots now does come into the pits. His teammate Lakito heads out onto the track. I think has a Daniel Ricciardo helmet on because the lobby tends to glitch that when you join the session late. But yeah, we've got Daniel Ricciardo, ladies and gentlemen, out here on the track. You'll never have seen it anywhere else. So Kieran now rounds the final one to the line. Not a valid lap time, so it will not count and not see it on the position tree. Pivotek still in the pits. NTA now on another attempt at a flying lap, coming towards the end of it. That's on to the power once again for the Williams. DRS open and driving to the line. It'll be a 1 minute 33.6. The drivers now settling in to some slightly longer runs. NTA's done more laps than anyone else so far in this session, on 7. So Williams racking up a lot of mileage in that one car. You got a car off there, and who is that? looks like it might have been Cheeks there, currently fastest in the session, but it's on a set of the soft tyres and could be about to go for a quick lap on these said tyres. We're going to ride on board now with Cheeks. Hopefully that's not this and next lap invalidated, otherwise this may be a bit of a waste. So we'll have to wait and see. It's not got the DRS open and is weaving as well, so yeah, Paz invalidated this and the next lap, unfortunately for them. So we've got 4 cars out on the soft tyres. Red Bull going for some performance runs then. Dean back out onto the softs. We'll see if they can catapult their way up the order. Here's a 110 says and just the Arsenal. I've done 1 lap proper. Soft run time. I agree, it is soft run time, definitely. The 2 Red Bulls now. Line astern on the back straight. A nice shot here of both of them coming through. Very nicely done, boys. NSC saying getting used to no ABS, so I think it's having some problems there with the locking up. So hopefully you can get over those 2 Mercedes now coming down the back straight. It's a good time for some team photos apparently coming down the back straight here in France. There's now Kieran heading up towards the second sector split. Let's see what he can do. 52.0. Didn't unfortunately come up with the sector actual split difference there to his best lap time. But into the final sector now for the Mercedes driver. The yellow's in sector 3, that's his teammate going slowly. But no reliability issues, I'd hope not, in this practice session. It would be very interesting if they were to allow that in the F1 game, maybe for next year, and online would definitely cause a few issues. Kieran though now coming towards the line. Keeps it in 3rd gear, interestingly enough there. Around the final corner, DRS flies open. Not going to be a lap time that troubles the top of the field, and goes 1/10 slower than his best lap time. 33.9 for him so far. Cheeks though has started another lap and is 4/10 up. We're going to continue on board now with Cheeks for the rest of this lap. As coming down now in towards the next corner. Braking just before the curb on the right hand side. Get it turned in. Nicely done there over the bumps into 3rd gear. Now watch the throttle on exit. Gets it very nicely done there. There's Cheeks now up and towards Scene corner. Flat out in 8th gear. Let's see what he can do. Has gone fastest again through the middle sector. 7/10 up on his own personal best lap. And there could be a monster lap here from the Red Bull. Getting a bit of understeer mid corner through here. Sticks it in 5th gear, and now towards one of the hardest corners on the track. It's off camber, it goes away from you at the apex. Try and get as close to the curve on the inside as possible and then power out. And now for the penultimate corner, very long left-hander. Try and take as late an apex as possible for the final corner. Now down into 2nd gear, just clip the curve on the right hand side, and now back on the power, the most crucial exit on this track. DRS flies open now, 4 Cheeks to the line. What is it going to be for the Red Bull? And it's a 1:31.4, goes clear of the pack by almost 2 seconds. So Dean there validating his most recent lap, unfortunately. So Pipitek now out here on the soft tyres. Let's see what he can do. I'm expecting fairly big things from this AlphaTauri lap. Should be very interesting to see. As Mookie finally coming out onto the track, just on the half an hour left to go. Only drivers who have completed 0 laps so far in this session. Oh, his pedals disconnected. That's a big shame. Oh, and I think that might... Is that Mookie? No, it's not Mookie. It's Yeet for Life. Is it? Pedals seem to have reconnected now. They've got all cars moving on track. At least we should do. You do indeed. Yeah, we'll keep you up to date with Pipitek's progress. Very interested to see this lap now. Can you respond to Cheeks' time? 1:31.4 on the clock. line comes Pipitech. It should be very, very interesting to see what he can do. We're going to have some traffic on this lap as well in the form of the McLaren of Lakito. So I have to see what he can do. Through sector 1 now. 27 minutes on the clock. AlphaTauri making a run here on the soft compound tyre. Going to get nicely slowed down there as well. He's 3/10 up, so that's purple through sector 1. This could be a good lap time from Pipitech if he can keep it together. Could it be Red Bull versus AlphaTauri at the top of the field? Who knows? That'd be very interesting indeed. But yeah, Cheeks and Pipitech looking like the strongest drivers at the moment, it must be said. Cheeks, I think, has done more laps than Pipitech so far on this compound of the soft tyres, so that will have to be played into account as well. Losing time actually at this Pipitech through the middle sector. As their team saying, promise that he's sat back. I'm sure he'll be able to find the pace in the remaining 26 minutes in this session. So now into the final sector. Can Pipitech find the time where he lost through the middle sector? The Red Bull may be running a less wing angle on the front or rear, and has used all of his deployment again there. So Pipitech really going full ham on the deployment. Going to lose a lot of time now in this final sector and down the main straight. Sorry, without that ERS to back him up. And indeed does. Goes into second place, but over 1.4 seconds behind Cheeks. That's still not fantastic. 1.396 seconds down on Cheeks there. It just goes to show how good the Red Bull's lap time was there. Yeah, very easy to do in validating at turns 1 and 2. The understeer, as you just go over the crest and the track dips away from you, is very, very hard to battle with. Nice shot there of the Williams being pushed back into the garage. Beautiful. Lakita now, the latest driver to complete a lap on soft tyres. It will be once he crosses the line in the McLaren. Gets it very nicely slowed down there, does Lakita. And now on the power, let's see if he can challenge Cheeks at the front of the pack. It's going to be a no. 1 minute 32.0 goes into second place. That's still the closest time that we've seen to Cheeks so far. But he's gone out again on a fresh set, that is, of the soft tyres as well. You can see that he's done 0 laps on them so far. So Cheeks obviously thinks there's more time to be found in that particular lap. That's Pipitech going through sector 1. Lots of gear changes there for sector 1 for Pipitech. So it goes through the very long right hand there. And we've got some yellow flags. I think that was Lakito backing off. The next car across the line. I think it's going to be Dizzy Mason in the Mercedes. Indeed it is. Comes around the penultimate corner, and Lando Norris themed helmet, it looks like there. Perhaps a view into the future if Norris ever joins Mercedes. Now, can Dizzy Mason improve on their particular lap time? Has used all the deployment in the run up to the line, does improve, but does not elevate themselves off of the back row of the grid at the moment. Kieran has done the most laps on a single set of tyres, 6 on those mediums. Going to make it 7, I think, as well, fairly shortly. McLaren's gone off there as well. No, does not make it 7, comes into the pit lane. That would be Lakito coming into the pits. Oh, and Pipitech's gone into the back of him. That was very close there at pit entry. careful there to not impede the McLaren, but it's on the outlap as well. Got some cars quite close together out on track. Could be getting a bit interesting here. So maybe we'll see a fake battle, or sizing each other up for a bit of a battle. Now we had some controversy yesterday in Tier 1 testing with the Red Bulls getting in the way of the Alpines, and the Alpines getting in the way of the Red Bulls as well in that preseason test session. So already some mind games going on for the season, which is obviously good to see in terms of the drama aspect. And now K-Dots will begin a lap. I think there's a lot more time to find as well for him. 1 minute 33.6 will definitely be the best that he can do in the McLaren. Let's see if he can improve on this lap. And going down in towards turn number 1, sticks it into 4th gear. Careful not to understeer onto the exit curb there and get your lap time invalidated. Keeps it within the boundaries of the track. And now into the very high speed right hander, which leads into the next part of the chicane, and the very, very slow right hander once again there. The front right wheel, usually this off the ground there, in real life has gone down on his best time through that sector. Dean complaining that he can't do a lap. Just head down, Dean. I'm sure you can do it. Still got 20 minutes left in this session to set a lap time. Let's see what K-Dots can do there now on this particular lap. Just going into the chicane, misses the apex there, runs a bit wide, gets some understeer. And then back on the power once again down the second part of the back straight. I am one of those people who thinks they should just let them run all the way up into Scene Corner completely flat out and see what happens. Going back down into Cheeks though, it's gone 2 tenths clear of anyone through the first sector so far, and goes 4 tenths clear through the middle sector. This is a proper low fuel run now for the Red Bull. We can see that the fuel icon is on there in the right hand corner of the screen. This is a low fuel run for Cheeks. And now through the final sector, this could be an absolutely mighty time here from the Red Bull. So I think that's Kieran going to the line to complete an outlap as well. Cheeks coming around the penultimate corner and leading it now into the final corner, has used all of his deployment as well. So could he lose some time here, perhaps going down the main straight? DRS opens to the line for Cheeks. Could it be in 1 minute 30? It's going to be 1 minute 30.8 and goes clear again of the rest of the pack by almost 1.4 seconds, I think that is. Indeed, 1.1 seconds even to the rest of the pack. A mighty lap time there from the Red Bull. And will anyone else actually be able to beat that time here? That is the question. Only one car not out on track. That is Pipitech as it stands. So NCA Nos Forever will be the next car to the line. Has still not ventured out onto a set of the softs yet, has the Williams, but I think has done more laps than anyone else in this session so far. Currently the highest placed person on the mediums as well. I'll do that lap time on the hards, even did Nos, so it hasn't even set a lap time on anything that isn't the hard tyre. It's down Nos Forever to the line, has used all of the deployment again in that Williams, and it is a 1 minute 32.1 on mediums. That is very, very competitive indeed from NTA. Let's see what he can do on the softs, maybe on some low fuel. Could he challenge Cheeks at the front, who has had it more or less his own way this entire session, as Mookie goes into P2 as well on a set of the soft tyres. Had a bit more fuel in the car for that run than Cheeks did as well. About a second slower than Cheeks as it stands at the moment. To turn 1, Lakito going through turns 1 and 2. Sector 3, got some cars close. Let's go have a look at that. So I think it's just people getting out of the way there. As Cheeks does come into the pit lane. Lakito 4.1, oh no, 3 tenths down on their best lap time so far in this session. Some race runs perhaps for K-Dots. Not having the DRS open down the back straight. About 15 minutes-ish left to go, 17 and a half minutes left to go in this session. Only Cheeks now not out on the track. Pipitech. Let's see if they don't use all of their ERS deployment on this lap to complete it. Drivers, of course, do still have the hot lap ERS mode available to them in this practice session, as well as the overtake, so you can fully simulate a qualifying lap if you would so wish to. As now Pipitech begins a lap here in pre-season testing. DRS slams shut into turn number 1. So they stay on board now with Pipitech through turn 2, right on the edge of the track limits there in the AlphaTauri, and now sending it into turn 3, gets it over the curb on both sides. And now slowing it down once again. It's going to be an improvement. It is 4/10 clear. Anyone but goes off the track and gets a lap time invalidated there. So again, we're seeing Pipitech having very, very strong pace, but not able to hook the lap up at the moment. Flies open now for Mookie to the line. Can he challenge Cheeks at the front of the field? No, a 10th off his personal best lap. But again, that is his 3rd lap on those soft tyres. So just goes to show how much fuel he was carrying in that car. As for some reason I can't select Mookie now. Oh, there we go. As I'm not. That must be a mistake on the telemetry, because it's showing Mookie as being in 8th gear. That's very strange. I've never seen that before. I guess just goes to show that this game is still full of wonderful little glitches. Still in 8th, even through the chicane. Cars now coming back into the pits after their most recent runs. Dizzy Mason's still out there and circulating. I think has just spun as Dean now goes into P2. Fastest final sector of anybody as well. More fuel on board than his teammate, and now Dean taking it to his teammate at the front of the pack. Only half a second off as it stands at the moment between the two Red Bulls, but looking very, very strong for that team at the moment. Find themselves 1 and 2 in pre-season testing. Very interesting stuff here in tier 3, and again, just to reiterate, Dean did do that lap with more tyres, with more fuel than his teammate did. His fuel light just coming on now to signify that. Let's see where will Cheeks respond. Is out on the track as well, actually on a lap as well, so we'll see what Cheeks can do. Did not get to see his first lap. I was actually backed off on that particular lap, looks like. An lap for the McLaren and for Noz as well. Pipitech coming out onto the track. Kieran going off at turn 2. Oh, there he is. As Kimi once said, word I can't say on stream, finally. Indeed, Dean going into P2. Much stronger lap there from him so far in this session. We'll go have a look at the race to see who's done the most laps here as well. It'll be very interesting to see. So Cheeks, only with 8 laps are on the board so far. Dean with 9, Mookie with 5, Jar Jar with 7, K-Dots with 5, Nosrev on 10. Kieran has done 14, so I think has got the most of anyone. No, Eat for Life driving with him on 14. So 2 drivers there doing 14 laps in this hour-long session. I think Natty held the record for most laps this week. I think he did about 28, 29 yesterday. So still a chance, to beat that total today, with just over 12 minutes left to go. Got 2 cars quite close to the track, Lakito, Jar Jar, and I think that's Yeet for Life in AI, which should not really be doing, as that's now going to hold up Lakito into the chicane, goes down the inside. That's some racing here, are we? With Lakito diving it down the inside, but I think we'll definitely have lost time on that particular lap. Indeed, he's lost a second through there. Dizzy's still struggling with the ABS. Still not the slowest driver though, by any stretch in this session. still got a bit of a margin back to Yeet for Life, who unfortunately finds themselves at the back of the pack. Let's see if Pipitech now can finally complete a lap. See whether this can put him in the relative pecking order. So there's a massive asterisk next to his position right now. I think he can go a lot faster than he has already. Obviously, this gives us an idea of the pecking order, but not what it definitely will be. It could just be that this track is good for some drivers and bad for others. Pipitech going almost 2 tenths up on his lap time. These are a fresh set of the soft tyres as well. If you would like to join for the last 11 minutes, Ben, by all means. Pipitech now enters the chicane. Exits in 4th gear, gets the power on nice and early, and now up towards the scene corner. 6 tenths clear of anyone so far, but has he got enough of that ERS battery left to take it to the line? And he's only got those 2 bars left there. You can see on the bottom left hand side of your screen, and it's going to be out of ERS charge very, very shortly here. I think it was on the using the overtake, and now will have used all of his deployment. So Pipitech will have no ERS down the main straight. I think that's where he needs it the most. Got a car stop there. I believe that's Mookie. As now to the line, the light blinking on the back of the AlphaTauri. This is going to be able to challenge the front guys at the top of the field. No, it's a 32-2. Does not improve on his position, and has now got very little fuel left in that car. I think there maybe Pipitech needs to be a bit more careful with his ERS deployment there. Kieran goes into P3 as well, 1 minute 31.2, less than a tenth behind Dean. Has skipped out the chicane there as well. Mookie now on a lap. That's what he can do through the middle sector. So I might have a little bit of a slipstream there from the AlphaTauri in front. These F1 cars produce a lot of downforce and drag, but therefore also a lot of slipstream. 9 tenths down on his particular lap time. I'm afraid we can't change the lobby settings once the lobby has started. I don't think that's possible. So we would probably consider it. These are the settings that we'll be running with for the actual league, as far as I am aware. Mookie now on a bit of a race in here, it looks like. It's now DRS open and to the line for Mookie. 1 minute 33.2. Can go a lot faster than that. Has gone faster than that in this session. Just over 9 minutes left to run in this session. Yes, some invites. Invites. So yeah, just gonna hopefully get another commentator in here, which should be pretty nice. So there we go. Evil has managed to join. I hope we'll be joining the party soon for the last 9 minutes. Or 8 minutes and 20 seconds even. But nonetheless. Dean. Oh! Big spin for Dean! And that came out of nowhere. On the hard tyres, Dean losing it onto the main straight and now spins back round. Has got time before the next car comes through that section. That was a very, very strange spin as Kieran goes ahead of Cheeks and into the 1 minute 30.7s. And just like that, we've got some challenges at the front of the pack. That's still got more fuel as well than the Red Bull. And out of nowhere, Kieran now leads the way. Very interesting there from the Mercedes. to add someone to the... Right, hopefully we'll be able to get Ben in there. Very strong lap time there from Kieran to go ahead of Cheeks. I don't think Cheeks has got any more soft tyres left to respond to that lap with, unfortunately, for him. But yeah, oh, Mookie there losing it at the chicane, on the exit of the chicane. Maybe just trying some new setup things for the race. Of course, you do actually have a French Grand Prix as well in the NRL. Mookie currently finds himself in P4. Yeah, I think looking, I'd say strong drives. I think for me, Pipatek, Noz Forever, Dean, Cheeks, Kieran, I think looking like the strongest drivers in terms of pace, I would say, at this stage of the season. Although they haven't even had a race yet, so do not quote me on that or take any offence to that. That is just from what I've been seeing from this isolated event. But I think the best team so far, just looking at that, just would have to be Red Bull. McLaren looking quite strong as well here, looking at Lakito Jar Jar as well. I think he's got a lot more time to find as well in that car and on those tyres. But I would say Red Bull and McLaren probably the strongest teams, strongest units at the moment. Their drivers separated by 4 and about a tenth respectively. And that right, hopefully I should be able to add someone to the party. Hopefully this doesn't end the stream. Yes, they are definitely looking good. Red Bull and PlayStation Tier 3, and so we do have a Ben. There we go. Good evening, thank you for joining me for the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds of pre-season testing.
Well, better late than never, isn't it, I suppose?
Indeed, a little bit of drama there with the PlayStation party system. Yeah, how are you doing, Ben, in these last 4 minutes?
Yeah, I'm not doing that bad. So, give me the rundown of what's happened during the last 55 minutes.
We've had a few spins, a couple of setup works going on. Cheeks was very, very quick out of the blocks. It set the fastest time of about half an hour left to go in the session, but that those honours have thus gone to Kieran. The Mercedes as NCA Noz Forever goes past Cheeks down the back straight. Kieran going on to a 1 minute 30.7 on a fresh set of the softs. I'm interested here to see though what Noz Forever can do, because I think these are his first laps on the softs and is significantly up on his lap time. Has maybe waited until the end of the session to really just go gung-ho, balls to the wall, and completely send it around the Circuit Paul Ricard here in France.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lap times. It's very, very competitive. Obviously, the top two of Kieran and Monye de Cheeks, they're only just under a tenth apart, so it's looking very good for this tier 3. So that's going to be an interesting season to watch for sure.
Indeed.
While we've got Noz Forever just coming across the line in the Williams.
Should be a good lap.
If we do, it's P4. 31.6, so...
That goes to back up what I said about my top 5 drivers so far from this session. I think Pipatek as well has just had a couple of mistakes in his best laps, but has got a lot more pace in that car. I think he could be a bit of a dark horse here as well, going into the season. Noz Forever as well, though, that's a very strong lap time off the bat. First lap on the soft, as I was saying before. So yeah, do join us tomorrow.
Just on an out lap, so... he'll be going for, I assume, a very low fuel qualifying run. But it's interesting to see how many laps some drivers have done.
I think that the last time I checked, the most laps I'd seen was 14. I don't know if that's gone up since
then. Kieran's on his 18th lap.
There you go.
Which so far seems to be the most. Then Noz, who's done 14 laps for Williams. So Mercedes and Williams really getting some mileage under their belts for the season.
They certainly are. Kieran now sets the purple first sector again there. Gone out on fresh softs. This will be a very low fuel run for Kieran. Let's see what he can do through the rest of this lap. Should be very interesting to see here. Coming up towards the chicane now. DRS wide open. Slam shot under braking. And gets invalidated. Oh no!
Cut the inside of that chicane. It's quite easy to do that with this track. Track limits are quintessential to stringing together a good lap. He will have enough time.
One more attempt.
Will he have enough fuel? That's the main question. We've got an Alfa Romeo of Mookie on an outlap. So P5 at the moment. He's 2 tenths behind Noz. And let's see if that Alfa Romeo has any pace left.
As I'm looking down here at Pipitech, who I think has had quite a difficult first sector and has chosen to back off the lap here as well. So it will be next lap or nothing really for Pipitech now. But I think one thing that we found here is that the tyre wear was quite high, considering that the drivers were not going out for that many laps. And do be sure to join us tomorrow for PC pre-season testing, obviously from here in France as well. All the pre-season testing taking place here at the Castellet. Oh, that's a Mercedes round, and that's Dizzy Mason.
Meanwhile, Mookie just going through the first 2 corners, hooks it up very nicely as we come now towards turn 3. Where's he going to brake? Just before the 50-meter board. 4th gear for the first part, 3rd gear for the second. You can really take some of that inside curb on the left. He failed to do that. It's 3rd gear for this corner. What's it is? He's 600ths off his personal best as
Dizzy
Mason gets disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. That is a very stranded
Mercedes.
Wow. Ooh, he just gets out of the way there on the long Misao straight now towards the chicane. How would he do? His 200-mile-an-hour slams on the brakes. 4th gear, 3rd gear. Now he's going to want to think about the rotation. He gets a great rotation coming out. Coming through the end of the second sector, start of the 3rd sector. He's gained his time up now, so he's 600ths on his personal best. This will still put him P5 though, but nevertheless will be a great lap. Coming through this, I forgot what this corner's called, but I call it the long banky boy.
The long banky.
Bit wide off the exit. We now enter the most technical part of the lap. Hooks the inside curb up nicely, chooses to keep it in 4 through the gears to the final few corners now of this lap. Hooks it very nicely. This is looking a good lap indeed. Takes it very nicely and easy for the final corner. Through the gears, 4th into 5th into 6th, and he's going to come across the line. What's it going to be for Mookie?
Good.
It's a 31.5, puts him into P4.
So let's get that back to Kieran those on a lap as well. Can he improve on his time? He does at the death. 1 minute 30.5, stamping his authority on the rest of the pack here. Pipitech has invalidated, so that will be his lap over, and the same for Yeet for Life. So that's going to bring to an end here pre-season testing for Tier 3, and it's Kieran and Mercedes looking imperious at the front of the pack. 3 tenths clear of the charging bulls behind, and it's definitely going to be a very, very interesting season here in the NRL for Tier 3 on PlayStation. Join us tomorrow for PC testing here at France once again, and do not miss next week, Round 1, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Be there, Tier 3, NRL. Hope you all enjoy it.